starts big school and things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with it at the moment. I'm still struggling really to be completely sugar-free. I am drinking more Diet Coke than I would like, but I'm struggling with caffeine. Things that I'm struggling with really are habits, like I really want to go and get a Costa because I like the feeling of indulgence of buying myself a big cup of coffee. And I used to like sitting in, not necessarily Costa, but in a coffee shop and get a coffee and sit down with a book and all that business. And I don't actually like coffee shop coffee if it doesn't have sugar in it. I normally would have a caramel latte and they would put caramel syrup in it. Obviously, caramel syrup, the clue's in the name, it is about 80% sugar. It's awful. I can't have that. And if I just have a latte, it doesn't taste the same. And if I have coffee with cream, they only give me less than half the amount of cream I would normally want in a cup of coffee that size. So I'm kind of what I'm missing there is that kind of association, that tradition, I guess, or just the feeling of having a bit of a treat of going to sit in a coffee shop. And I used to get a coffee in the morning and take my laptop in and do some work in there. And I can't really do that now because I can't go in and kind of not order anything. But anything I did order, I'd want sugar in it if I was going to drink it. So it becomes a waste of money. I'm missing things like that, I think. In the summer, I think it's going to be tricky because everybody wants to have ice lollies in the summer. I might see if I can make some sugar-free ones, but I know I tried that in September. I made some sugar-free ones out of avocados and something, and neither of us liked them. They went in the bin. They were disgusting. That might have been my dodgy recipe following, if I'm honest. If anybody has any recipes for foods with no added sugar, I would love to hear about them. Oh, I must share with you one recipe that I did come across. It's not really a recipe. Homemade sugar-free ice cream. You freeze bananas, take them out of their skin, freeze them, get a juicer, and just as you're about to eat your dinner or about to eat your pudding, you get them out of the freezer and you put the frozen bananas through the juicer and you've got something that vaguely resembles banana ice cream. I've not tried it. I have got a juicer. I don't want to try it really in case it becomes something that I'm, stockpiling frozen bananas for because I don't want to end up in using it as a substitute, I think. But if anybody wants to try it, do. Let me know how you get on. This week coming up is really hectic for me. I'm kind of all over the place and doing lots of things. And I think it's difficult. When you're like in a train station and your next train is in 10 minutes, so it's not long enough to go anywhere, but you're really hungry. So you're kind of at the mercy of the train station. I'm having a lot of moments like that recently, not just with train stations, but like being at the big business event. You're there and the closest shop is a baker's where they've got lots of cake. And, it's difficult when you're out and about. The only way I'm going to get through it, I think, is to really try and plan ahead. I've got a day next week, for example, where I'm working in somebody's office from literally the minute I drop Samara at nursery to the minute I pick her up. I go straight from there to the nursery. And that's going to be really tricky to try and to make sure that I've got packed lunch prepared and in the fridge and ready to go when we go to nursery, because normally I come back and fanny about a bit and this, that and the other, and then I go into the shops and then I go off to where I'm going. So I need to have stuff ready and prepared in the house, I think, which is going to involve massive discipline on my part. So you might hear a podcast from me next week off my face on sugar because I've completely gone off the rails, but I'm hoping that won't happen. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be back next week.